Welcome to today's SeafoodNews.com video, sponsored by the Alaska Seafood Marketing Institute.
You know, when you have an eco-label that essentially has a lock on all the domestic markets in Europe, and you can't ship your seafood to Europe unless you have that eco-label, I mean, that sounds like a trade barrier to me. At the beginning of the sustainable seafood eco-labeling, initiative, way back when, I think it was a good idea, and I think that most people involved in it, had a really, they really had the right intentions, and the whole idea was that, look, we're going to use this market mechanism, and you're going to be able, you a fisherman or you a processor are going to be able to access these niche markets, and you're going to get a higher price for your seafood, and those prices will be translated into better wages for fishermen, and better management of your fisheries, and better governance of your ecosystem, your environment. Now it's no longer the carrot where it says, look, you can get into these niche markets. Now it's a stick where it says, if you don't do it, you're not getting on our shelves at all. The thing is that, look, we have guys who are losing contracts and losing deals because it's not, it's not certified sustainable, even though we all know, as it's already been admitted, we have the best managed fisheries in the world. How does that happen? So if you're thinking about, not only in the United States, in the Gulf of Mexico or Alaska or wherever, you take this out to Asia, well, how's this going to work exactly? Are they going to have this kind of a monopoly power on determining who gets to sell what where? Our understanding is that GSSI was following the path set by the Global Food Safety Initiative. And, so similar to this, it was supposed to provide a benchmark because of all these competing labels, eco-labels, and eco-certification schemes, that we would at least have a baseline where we know, look, this meets muster, at least for, in terms of eco-labeling or certification assurance.
We think they've just kind of gotten off track. So they've kind of overreached, and we think that maybe they've been kind of encouraged to overreach by some of the more, activist NGOs.
And really then what happens is that you're not really talking about responsible management of fisheries, you're really talking about political control. And once you start politicizing natural resource management, you have a pretty big problem there, to the extent that these market approaches have worked. We've also seen, though, that there is sort of this other downside, which is like these trade barriers and these potential for monopoly and market abuse. I think we really need to, reconsider where we're going with this and whether that model still makes sense.
Today's SeafoodNews.com video was brought to you by the Alaska Seafood Marketing Institute. Alaska has been protecting wild and sustainable seafood for generations and adheres to the most recognized and internationally accepted set of guidelines written by the United Nations Food and Agriculture Organization. For recipes and additional information, visit wildalaskaflavor.com.